Welcome to From the PressBox, your show for all things sports.
Right, Jamal. But the Minnesota Lynx have made news in politics. The reigning WNBA champion Minnesota Lynx took a trip to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
It's been almost 1 year since the Lynx swept the Atlanta Dream and claimed the championship title. But the 2012 London Games and a busy schedule for President Obama delayed the traditional visit to the White House.
During the long-awaited meeting with Mr. President, he told the team that they were great ambassadors for the game of basketball and strong role models for his own daughters.
President Obama says the Lynx have returned glory to the Twin City.
Which is good because what have they been doing there?
Exactly. The Vikings and the Timberwolves, nothing.
Okay, but on the better news, the much-anticipated NFL season is here, and a local high school is responsible for breeding talent on at least 5 of those 32 teams.
Stevenson High School, that is, in Stone Mountain, led the state of Georgia with 5 alumni on NFL rosters on opening day.
According to the National Football League data, Stevenson tied for second in the country with 2 other schools, but follows just behind a school in a neighboring state.
St. Thomas Aquinas High School of Fort Lauderdale, Florida is #1 with 9 alumni in the NFL this season. Georgia ranks 4th in the nation in NFL players at 91.
That is a lot of players. But speaking of the NFL, the Atlanta Falcons are one of several teams that have perfect records in the early stages of the season. However, one Dirty Bird has found himself in trouble after the team's latest victory.
Falcons running back Michael Turner, that is, he was jailed on charges of driving while intoxicated and speeding. This happened just hours after he scored a touchdown in the 27-21 victory over the Denver Broncos.
Gwinnett County jail records show Turner posted $2,179 bond just before he was released.
Turner spent a little over an hour in jail, but head coach Mike Smith was still displeased with his players' behavior, saying, quote, he knows we're disappointed in the decisions he made after the ball game.
King James has set his price for his latest kicks.
The LeBron 10s with Nike Plus now have a retail value of $270. Consumers will pay for a pair of shoes that come with Nike technology in the midsole of the shoe. This includes sensors, an adapter, and a charger.
And if you knock off $70, you can if you own the kit already, the shoe itself retails for $200 or $180 without the Nike Plus technology.
The advantage of the Nike Plus version of the shoe is it allows the athlete to measure metrics, including the vertical leap, along with the basketball app syncing ability.
But will it make you play like LeBron at all for that much money?
When I put mine on, you know I feel like LeBron.
So you own a pair?
I'm going to.
The Toronto Blue Jays are without shortstop Yunel Escobar after he displayed a slur.
Escobar has been suspended for 3 games without pay for displaying a gay slur on his eye black.
The suspension was announced Tuesday after a meeting at Commissioner Bud Selig's office. Escobar remains apologetic and said, quote, I don't have anything against homosexuals. He went on to say, I'd like to ask for apologies of all those who have been offended by this.
Escobar will lose more than $92,000 during his 3-game suspension.
In other words, folks, think before you speak or it can cost $92K.
Well, on the topic of big money, Floyd Money Mayweather has been ordered to pay Manny Pacquiao more than $113,000.
This comes after Pacquiao skipped a series of court orders for deposition dates last year.
The court appearances are related to a defamation suit filed by Pacquiao after Mayweather told journalists Pacquiao uses performance-enhancing drugs.
Can't we all just get along, Jamal? A little bit of kumbaya, you know?
Just a little bit. Okay, well, stay tuned. More From the Press Box is straight ahead.
A boy born in Joplin, Missouri was fascinated by anything with wheels and a motor. The odds of him winning both the Daytona 500 and the Brickyard 400 in the same year? 1 in 195 million. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism? 1 in 88. I'm Jamie McMurray, and my niece has autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
We are rolling.
All right, Mama's gonna bring it home. Mama's gonna bring it home. No.
Challenge your kids to be active and eat healthy.
Let's see what you can do. Let's go.
Search We Can for ideas on how to get healthy together.
We spoke with Georgia Tech head coach Brian Gregory about the $50 million McCamish Pavilion and the upcoming season.
there's an excitement every time you walk through here, and I've been fortunate over the last year to kind of sneak in from time to time and watch the progress that they've made. And now when you see the finished product, you get even more excited about it because you realize that we've been able to build a state-of-the-art facility, opening up a new chapter to Georgia Tech basketball, while at the same time having a strong connection to our rich tradition and our great history. With the great players and coaches like Coach Kremens highlighted in the arena, the old court all throughout the arena, including the main center court area. All those things are important because if you want to build a great program, you got to make sure that you have a connection to the past as well. And I think this arena acts as kind of that connection. And I think it's wonderful. It's going to be exciting, and it's going to be a great place to play. Our guys have had a good summer, having a good fall so far, and the progress that they're making. I only hope that the progress they make mirrors the progress that's been made in this arena. I think our guys have improved as individuals, and now we need to come together as a team. Any quality team is defined usually by its leadership and the chemistry and its competitive toughness, and those are three areas that we're, as a program, we focus on every day. We're the deepest and best league in the country now, and when you add another storied, rich, traditional program like Notre Dame, it only adds to that. Not only have they had great success, but they fit the model of a program that does things the right way, puts student athletes first, and has a tremendous fan base. So it's a great addition. And at the same time, coming from the Midwest, growing up, watching Notre Dame through all those years, it'll be a kind of a thrill to be able to compete against them on a daily basis.
At McCamish Pavilion, I'm Jamal Williams reporting from the Press Box.
In 1977, an 8-year-old boy picked up the game of golf from his father. The odds of that same boy then making it to the US and European Pro Golf Tours, 1 in 7 million. The odds of the Big Easy winning the US Open twice, 1 in 1.2 billion. The odds of him having a child diagnosed with autism, 1 in 88. Ernie Els encourages you to learn the signs of autism.
Here we go. We're gonna make some juice.
Looks good.
You ready to try it?
Challenge your kids to be active and eat healthy.
It's okay.
Okay. She took another sip. You saw it?
Search We Can for ideas on how to get healthy together.
Welcome back to From the Press Box, your favorite sports show. Now it's time for Hurry Up Offense.
You're right, so let's jump into the first question. Were the Bucks out of line for going after the Giants in victory formation?
No, they were not. Okay, first of all, let's get something straight. If you're familiar with football, you know that it's Greg Schiano's style, which he did at Rutgers, to do that finish the game play. So while it may be an unspoken rule for the NFL, these guys simply did what they were coached to do. Now, whether it was right or wrong, that's for someone else's discretion, but they simply did what they were coached to do. You got to follow the coach.
You're right. They were coached to do this, and the coach was wrong. Let's look at it this way. You're coached to play the full 60 minutes, and right before halftime with 2 seconds, the Giants take a knee to go in the locker room. The Bucks players walk off the field. That means they played 59 minutes and 58 seconds. That's not the full 60. At the end of the game, you know you're going to lose. Why go after it and risk hurting your player and the other team's players? He said, Greg Schiano, he defended himself. He said it worked in college. Well, this is the pros. And the 2 times it worked in his entire career at Rutgers, it was 2009 against Pitt and West Virginia University. And guess what happened after he got the fumble? They lost. So why risk injury on something that could blow your entire career? Because crossing like a Coach Coughlin, that's a career ender.
That is true, and Justin Tuck also said he's not going to forget it. So we'll see how this plays out if they meet again. Right. Question 2. Did Chicago Bears QB Jay Cutler go too far by shoving Jamarcus Webb?
He did. Seriously, the left tackle, that's his blind side. Yeah. They have to be better than what they're playing. They're allowing too much pressure there. Jay Cutler gets no kind of time. But they're men. You can yell at him, get in his face, tell him do your job, but you do not put your hands on him. You don't do that because you are a man and he's a man. You respect him as a man and you talk to him or do whatever. If you saw afterwards he went to Brandon Marshall, he didn't put his hands on Brandon Marshall. He know that man crazy.
Well, I have a different take on that. I think that the NFL, your teammates are somewhat of a brotherhood. And sometimes your brothers need that motivation. So I think that the shove was merely a motivation. Because at that point in time, that was after 2 sacks, and in addition to allowing his QB to feel pressure twice. So in that moment, Jay Cutler was just feeling it. He felt like he needs to give him motivation. So if Cutler wants to succeed, Webb has got to execute, and that's the bottom line.
Well, like you said, it is like a brotherhood, but look at it this way. That's like little brother hitting big brother. No, it's not a smart idea. All right, question 3. Are the replacement officials getting unnecessary heat?
No, the heat is necessary. Collectively, this is just not a group of good individuals to call any game. First of all, one of the refs was pulled for being a fan. He was a fan of the Saints, and ironically, he was calling the Saints in Carolina game, so that's a no-no. Second of all, there have been so many game-altering calls that were missed or called wrongly, so I think that this is becoming a problem. And as this frustration builds and the games are becoming longer and drawn out, something is going to have to happen because this is just totally unacceptable.
I don't even refer to them as officials anymore. I think of them as fans. Eagles running back LaShawn McCoy has even gone on record saying one of the officials came to him and said, hey, I need you to play better because you're on my fantasy team this week. Seriously? During a game, you're going to come to him like that. I do enjoy watching like a Steelers game, though, because those defensive backs, it looks like the 70s. They're grabbing them, pulling those wide receivers 10 yards down the field. But it's against the rules. Those are calls that have to be made. Pass interference isn't being called consistently. One drive it's pass interference, the next one it's not. You don't know what you can do and what you can't do.
Exactly. Will the Cowboys still be looked at as a contender in the NFC following their loss to the Seattle Seahawks?
Lauren. We talk about the Cowboys so much on this show. So I'm going to do something for the first time. We're going to call an audible, and we're going to change the question here. We're going to go, are the 49ers ready to return to the Super Bowl?
Why are we doing this?
Because no one wants to hear about the Cowboys anymore.
Well, I actually do. And since we're talking about the Cowboys,
We're talking about the 49ers.
Okay, well, let me just start by saying week 2 is not indicative of how any team will do of the 32 league teams. And I think we've got to see more. And while their ranks are good, I still need to see more. Again, week 2, come on.
You're right. As the 49ers can't prove things through 2 weeks because they're just not ready to return to the Super Bowl yet. If you look at it, the run defense is good on the left side of the offense. If you look at the right side to that right tackle, which would be the left side of the defense, they're weak. They're letting the offense average over 5 yards a carry, which is a major weakness. Come playoff time, it'll be exploited. They're not ready to return to the Super Bowl unless they can get that shored up within, the next couple of games.
So I'm going to assume that they'll still have 5 rings at the end of this season.
You're right. All right, well, that concludes another episode of From the Press Box.
You can always join us on YouTube or like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at FTP_tweets.
Instead of our moment in sports history, we would like to give a tribute to Steve Sable. He was instrumental in bringing fans closer to the game with NFL films. He used video, sound, and the legacy of the game to draw even the passive fan to the NFL.
For 40 years, the Eagles and Cowboys have proven his point. There's been no brotherly love between these two franchises. Over the years, NFL Films has produced videos about all the great championship football teams. Lombardi's Packers, the undefeated Dolphins, the Steel Curtain, and the great 49er teams.
Different. In the history of NFL Films, there are 4 coaches that really supported us and opened up the playing field for NFL Films. First was Lombardi, who understood the historical nature and the value of us filming the games and him wearing a mic.
In the early days of the American Football League, Kansas City and Oakland were the 2 best teams in the Western Division. And that's when the Old West was really wild.
His voice was unique, and his mission was purposeful. We thank Steve Sable for keeping the NFL a staple in homes of NFL sports fans around the world. Steve Sable was 69.